Have you guys ever been on a plane before? Have you ever flown so high and felt so free and uplifted from all your thoughts or your worries?
Fine.
Maybe you're traveling somewhere nice, a vacation, to friends, family. Flying can be a very nice experience. Unless when it isn't. Quite recently, United Airlines, which are a massive company, they fucked up quite badly with their travel. In the video I'm showing you here, which you've probably seen a billion times beforehand, you can see a man being dragged off the plane, kicking and screaming, causing quite a ruckus, and then he comes back onto the plane that he was dragged off of, covered in blood.
I have to go home. 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 To go home. I have to go home. I have to go home.
So you're probably already aware that the situation itself is really messed up. That is to those of you that have a good attention span and you haven't just commented, "Where's Shrek has swag for Pyrocynical? I want no fucking United Airlines in my subbox." Now you're probably wondering why this guy was thrown off the plane. There's been a lot of theories. Some people have even said just because he's Asian. God, I bet you fucking would love that, wouldn't you? No, as a matter of fact, the guy was thrown off the plane because they were overbooked. I don't fly too frequently, but the fact that overbooking is even a concept on airlines, that is retarded. In an effort to make more money, airlines go ahead and overbook, knowing that people will apparently cancel last minute or won't turn up for the flight. So they book more people than seats are available, which again, I'm pretty new to this concept. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard of it and you've already had problems with it, but as someone who's only recently heard of the idea, it's retarded. To be honest, with a business practice as shit as that, I can easily imagine them turning around and saying, "Hey, you know what? You could just sit on top of the plane now. There's no seats left. We're overbooked." What's that? -40, might get frostbite and freeze to death. Put on my North Face windbreaker. So United Airlines overbooked because they're greedy bastards. And then they found out that pretty much every single person turned up on their flight. And then they had no room for the crew members. So again, there's a lot of fallacies to this logic, but you know what? Greed makes people morons. The company then starts offering the passengers money to voluntarily get off the plane. First, I think it was about $400. Then no one took it because, believe it or not, wanting to stay in an airport overnight isn't really worth that much money. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these people have important business meetings to get to. And then they offered $800, which is great, very generous of them. They could have just not fucking overbooked. I think that would have been the most generous act they could have done. And funnily enough, no one would have accepted that. So what they then did was, they put everyone's names, everyone who paid the least, by the way, none of the first class or anything, they put everyone's names onto a computer that randomly generated people to kick off. And this gentleman here was one of the names that came up.
No, this is wrong. Oh my God, look at what you did to him. Oh my God.
So instead of offering this guy money, they then take him and they drag him off the plane, not caring about his personal safety or anything, because when he runs back onto the plane, he's covered in blood, clearly because he's hit his head off something, but they don't care. They're just doing his job, you know, dragging him off the plane.
Go home. I have to go home. I have to go home.
Yeah, but Pyro, they really didn't have room, so, you know, it's not their fault.
Well, it is their fault, because if they didn't overbook, they wouldn't have had this problem in the first place. Fortunately, the guy did manage to get back on the plane, and he did actually make his flight, and he got to go back home. Apparently, he wasn't the only person. There were actually 4 names that were generated on the computer, and the 3 other people left without starting any kind of row or anything. They just got off and left. Now, I see a lot of people making the claim or the argument saying that this guy's, you know, being a little bitch boy. He should have just took the money and got off the plane. But again, to reiterate, this guy was a doctor. He had patients to see. Essentially what they've done, they got 2 plainclothes police officers to forcibly drag a 69-year-old man off a plane. Unfortunately, after all this controversy, United Airlines have got so much backlash, and as well, their stock has dropped massively. Can we just get that meme with the plane crashing as a metaphor for the stocks? And of course, you definitely know when such a tragic event like this happens, People are just gonna meme it to shit. If you go on United Airlines mottos, you can just see a bunch of memes. There we go. We've already got a meme in the fucking impact meme font. Thank you for reminding me that 2009 existed.
Ever have difficulties getting a last-minute seat on United? Not anymore. Introducing United Superior Class. Book today, and we'll get you a seat on the same day, no matter what. Want to sit here? No problem. We'll fight for it, so you can sit back and relax.
Oh, no.
Through groundbreaking algorithms, we can determine which passenger paid the least for their ticket and will make way for any superior class ticket holder. For an upgrade...
Stop doing this side-by-side thing. It's like you've got happy individual from an advert and then man screaming while being dragged off.
For an upgrade of $59.99, you can even choose which nationality...
Oh, no. It's just... That face. That beautiful face.
For an upgrade of $59.99...
Even people like 9gag have chimed in. Media could not be played. You know what? For once in my life, I'm actually glad. Don't you just love statistics? 4 out of 5 doctors recommend United Airlines. For fuck's sake. And they even get like all Asian doctors as well. I don't know. Like the thing is, it's funny, but like you gotta think it's the guy who's sitting there who actually got dragged off the plane. He's seeing these memes and he's either laughing or oh my fucking god, Jesus, that was fucking, what is that? That's an old meme. Get that shit off my timeline. Thank God I'm suspended. We're overbooked. But I paid. Yeah, that was definitely a very accurate recreation there. Just follow, yeah. He just, yeah. Do you remember when the Asian doctor got punched in the face and thrown off the Zeppelin? It's not even a plane now, it's a fucking Zeppelin. We're overbooked. Volunteers receive a voucher exempting them from a future beating. Okay, sounds like a great airline. Yo, Adrian, I made it on the plane. Okay. I feel slightly bad for laughing at a fucking, like, meme with the meme font, but still, that was a good meme.
Oh my god. Kramer?
I think the worst thing as well after this event is the fact how the CEO of United Airlines was incredibly insensitive. I'm gonna read the CEO's letter in the voice that I picture him to sound like. I hope that's okay. And please, Oscar, don't sue me for slander, okay?
Listen, like you, I was upset to see and hear about what happened last night aboard United Express Flight 3411, headed from Chicago to Louisville. While the facts and circumstances are still evolving, especially with respect to why this customer defied Chicago aviation security officers the way he did, to give you a clear picture of what transpired, I've included below a recap from the preliminary reports filed by our employees.
I love how he says the customer defied the security officers, which, again, defying, really, more like being dragged off a plane for something you paid for. Yeah, that... You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot.
I'm not finished. As you will read, the situation was unfortunately compounded when one of the passengers we politely asked to deplane refused, and it became necessary to contact Chicago aviation security officers to help. Our employees followed established procedures for dealing with situations like this. While I deeply regret this situation arose, I also empathetically stand behind all of you. And I want to commend you all for continuing to go above and beyond to ensure we fly right.
So what this guy does is basically every apology anyone has ever made in the past 10 years where he doesn't directly apologize and he beats around the bush. I think from what I can read, he's doubling down on his point and not even really apologizing, but he's purposely chose to keep his words as vague as possible to not anger anyone. You'll notice that a lot when people make big apology statements on things, especially with like politics and that. They'll never straight up apologize. They'll always use big words to confuse you and think that they've apologized, but they're actually doubling down on their point. He did say that he deeply regrets that the situation arose, but it's like, that's not an apology.
Excuse me, I'm not finished. Did I say I was finished? I do, however, believe there are lessons we can learn from this experience, and we are taking a close look at circumstances surrounding the incident. Treating our customers and each other with respect and dignity
Respect and dignity. Are you fucking serious?
Respect and dignity is at the core of who we are, and we must always remember this, no matter how challenging the situation.
Oscar, I'm sure you're a nice guy, but you're a bit of a fucking idiot, mate. Oh, but don't worry, guys. A lot of people saw through that really fake apology, so then he got a lot of backlash, and he was forced to make a more genuine statement.
I want you to know that we take full responsibility, and we will work to make it right.
My condolences go out to the doctor that was dragged off the plane. You went through such a shitty thing, and I genuinely apologize what you've been through. Sorry for all the memes, the pretty funny memes, but hopefully you understand the best thing to do with the situation is laugh at it. And also, sue United Airlines, that's a pretty good one as well. Thank you for watching, very much appreciated. Be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Comment any thoughts, any feelings. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Let's get some pussy tonight.